Today we're back looking at some good old entitlement. Hello, please no negative comments or no referrals to a nursing home or assisted living. I am a 50-year-old woman looking for a room to rent with my own bedroom and off-street parking in a home that is kept clean, a walk-in shower with safety bars, no pets, no kids for $300 or less per month, including utilities and in walking distance to stores and restaurants. No parties, drug addicts or liars, preferably with a nurse that can do daily wind dressing. Something tells me that this 50-year-old woman doesn't realise how expensive things have got. Maybe like 20-30 years ago you could get stuff like that for that price. You can't live anywhere for $300 now. I'm trying to think now, would you even get an apartment for $300 a week? I don't think you would. I'm a woman about her age and cannot imagine why she thinks this is anything like reasonable. That's someone ill-prepared to live in her own real world for whatever reason. Reminds me of my mum 70 said the other day, I'm gonna have to start mowing my own grass. The guy that's doing it charges too much. He wants $15. She would not believe me when I told her that was an incredibly good deal. Yeah, probably because back whenever they were our age, everything was a lot cheaper. I swear like all of our parents got like Friday frogs for like 1 or 2p. You could literally go to a shop and like give them a penny and you get a load of sweet. Nowadays, what does a Friday cost? Like 60p. 50 years ago, the house that I'm living in was so much cheaper than what it is now. I think it was probably like 50,000. Right now, it's literally $500,000. It's a normal size house. Like, it's not like a big mansion. A lot of people in my generation are never going to be able to own homes. Like, they're just way too expensive. And yet again, if we look at what that 50-year-old woman said, she wants loads of things for $300 a month. That's like under $100 a week. Like, a hotel literally costs $100 a night. Somebody is giving a Google review and it looks like they got 1 star. I wanted to give this place a shot again because I started going to blank on Metropolitan Avenue a few blocks away. I had a slice and drink which came to $7. I ordered to eat in and my pizza slice was so hot it burned the roof off my mouth. I think if someone's eating in and it's 1 slice, it doesn't need to be in the oven for more than 30 seconds, a minute at most. My slice was in there for much longer and the cheese became molten hot. If someone is eating in, they will eat it immediately, so it only needs to be heated up a little bit. If it's a takeout, the pizza will cool down in the way, so it should be heated for longer. It seems like they do takeout orders and eat-in orders for the same amount of time. My mouth is in pain right now. I could have waited for it to cool down, but I had things to do ASAP and just wanted a simple quick bite. Well then that's your own fault. Why are you giving them a 1-star review? So let me get this straight. You went to this pizza place, I gave you a piece of pizza and you're complaining because it was too hot. Would you like it ice cold? And yet again, 1-star review for that. Like, I'd be giving them 5-star review. Would you rather cold pizza or warm pizza? I know I want the warm ones. If you're a grown-ass adult and think you can blame the restaurant for putting hot food in your mouth, you won't do well in this world. Exactly, I feel like that person also identifies as one of them food critics. They think their opinion's so important. Put it this way, if you get a piece of pizza and it's too warm, you know before it's went in your mouth if it's too warm. So it's all your fault. I'm gonna give you a tiny bit of context about this clip we're gonna watch. Basically, I think this isn't like a gas station in America. This woman's a bit upset because in the toilet there wasn't soap. Now every bathroom should have soap, so originally I was on this woman's side. However, her way of complaining wasn't the right way to do it.
Fine.
Because this is...
Here we have a woman, a Karen, being very rude and disrespectful and expecting customer service after being rude and disrespectful. And I've asked her several times to please leave.
If you could have soap in the bathroom.
You have been a Karen, rude, disrespectful. Could you please go?
We have soap in the bathroom here.
Oh, this is entitlement. This is entitlement. Please find her job and show entitlement.
You're gonna get blasted.
Yes, I'm gonna get blasted.
I asked for soap in the bathroom.
From a woman who, and we have several cameras. Could you please leave? Yes, could you please leave?
I only asked for soap in the bathroom.
You asked rude and disrespectful. I could help you, boss. This is society though, man. So I would love, dude, that I've been nothing but. I've asked you to leave several times now. I've asked you several times, could you please leave?
That's the first video. We're about to watch the second one, but basically that was like the whole meltdown. Now if we do look at the comments, a lot of people are actually on her side. Just put soap in the bathroom. I believe it's a health violation not have soap in the bathroom. Of course I'm with you there. However, apparently she was rude, and usually people who work in retail and jobs like that don't lie about bad experiences. I've got a feeling she did have a bit of an attitude. Why do they always get to try others involved and do not leave? Probably because they want to be told that they're right. They can't take the fact that they might be wrong.
You are rude and entitled, but that is not the way you approach somebody. Now, please, I told you, after you bring rude and disrespectful, you can leave.
Do you have some hand sanitizer?
You can leave. You can leave. You are not entitled to act like that and expect customer service. You can leave. I've asked you several times on camera.
Oh.
Please go.
So yeah, that was the second video. Oh, I don't really know, because obviously I understand that there's no soap in the toilet, why she might be angry. However, apparently she didn't ask in a very nice way. Why do Karens think them recording too is some kind of threat? 9 times out of 10 the Karens actually don't film it as well. They kind of pull out their phones and make it look like they filmed the stuff when they don't really. It's just a way for them to intimidate you.
What's your craziest confession?
So one time, my best friend and I, we were talking to a guy and his roommate, and we were really bored. And while they were sleeping, we tied them both up, laid them on their stomach, and we both ate their ass.
Oh no.
It wasn't because they both enjoyed it.
What if the roast was reversed then?
That would be I guess. Alright.
You know that would be fucked
I'm gonna
up.
drop the mic on this.
You know, you
I'm gonna hope that that was fake and that that was her trying to do some dodgy, edgy humor. Because if that actually happened, then men need to call the police. It's disgusting how casual these women are about, oh, I guy, oops, he. What a disgusting excuse for a human being. I'm hoping that she was lying about that and she was just making up a story for the sake of being on camera and she was using it in an edgy, jokey type of way. I'm really hoping that she didn't do that, because if she did, she could end up behind bars. Part of me thinks that her little story is fake, but also I don't know. Like, it might actually have happened. After a long shift at work, I had this gem waiting for me from my sister who refuses to pay for petrol and who now refuses to pay me for the wine I bought her. After you finish work, can you please go to the bottle shop and urgently buy 5 bottles of red wine, $15 a bottle, anything is fine. Bring to blind. Do not call me though. Bring the level 12 S block. Do not call me. Phone is off. Okay, so let me get this straight. Your sister wants you to go to a wine store, get 5 bottles of wine, which are $15 each. Why does she need 5 bottles of wine? Who in the right mind drinking all of that? Like, that's like enough for a group of people. Usually 1 bottle of wine is enough. Like, why is she asking for 5? And then she's also saying, don't call me, my phone's off. If I were you, I'd air the message but not reply. Literally open it, click off it, and then she'll know that you've seen it. Because who does she think she is? Just because your sister doesn't mean that she can treat you like that.
Why does this generation of kids just turn their back on their parents? Like, I would never treat my parents the way some of the things have been said to me from my kids. And I don't understand it. And it's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. My friends, patients that I see at work, you know, story after story after story after, you know, my daughter doesn't talk to me, my son doesn't talk to me, like, just so much entitlement these
There's a
days.
reason for
and
that.
it's just so flippin' heartbreaking.
Maybe, just maybe, it's not that we're entitled, but we're doing what's best for our mentality. If your adult child does not want to talk to you, it's most definitely you put them through some kind of trauma, not because they're spoiled or entitled. Think about it. Would I want to stay in touch with someone who screamed at me throughout my childhood? Stay in touch with someone who made me feel like I was such a failure? Physically hurt me, threatened to physically hurt me even when I was over 18? No, I would not. And I know some of you are still in that headspace. Okay, I'm the parent, I still deserve to be respected. Respect is a two-way street. And if you abused me throughout my childhood, I am not going to respect you. And just because you were the parent does not mean I'm going to give you an exception. If you ask me, the person who's really entitled is you and every single person in this comment section agreeing with you. Have you even watched the video that you posted?
Why, where's the respect at for parents and appreciation for all they've done for you your entire life? Like,
Sure, maybe you've done a lot of good. Maybe you sacrificed so much to put a roof over our head and food on the table, which is what you're supposed to do as a parent. But if you've also done a lot of bad, aka abusive to me, it doesn't even matter. The trauma will still be there. So if your 18 or 19-year-old moves out of the house and cuts ties with you, don't be frustrated or angry. They're human too, and they're doing what's best for their well-being. And if that includes cutting ties with you, wow, that says a lot about you as a parent.
I've been seeing a lot of TikToks like that recently about older people talking about, oh, the younger generation have no respect for their elders. That's not true. I literally respect everyone, but the minute I start to get a sense of an attitude from somebody, I'll give it right back to them. Gen Z is the gen that broke the rule, respect your elders, and I'm honestly here for it. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's definitely some Gen Z people who are very rude for no reason. However, put it this way, if someone isn't nice to me, I'm not going to go out of my way to be nice to them. That's just a waste of energy. My dad threatened to hit me and starve me so many times, and he still wonders why I barely talk to him. I reckon he's maybe forgotten about that. Because I feel like that happens a lot of situations like that. Like, parents forget what they've done to their child. They've kind of thought, oh, it wasn't that serious, you know, we'll get over it. And realistically, they never will. I'm very lucky where I'm very close to my parents, and they're amazing parents growing up. However, some of my friends weren't as lucky. Like, the way their parents treated them sometimes was absolutely awful. I'm all for disciplining children. You know, if a child messes up, you explain it to them, you punish them, etc. However, the way some of my friends were punished was way too extreme. Like, some of my friends were literally kicked out and they were like 14, 15. You just don't do that. And now it makes sense to me as to why they don't speak to their parents, because of what they put them through.
The woman whose seat was turned into a punching bag mid-flight is speaking out today, and new video is emerging of the incident showing that the male passenger not only punched the seat, but also hit it with his open hands like he was playing the bongos, even bopping his head as he hit her seat. How hard was he hitting the back of your seat?
Hard. Like, I flew forward. several times, and then I just kind of leaned forward because I knew it was coming.
It happened on a flight from New Orleans to Charlotte when Wendy Williams reclined her seat shortly after takeoff.
The man behind me asked me to not recline it while he ate. I left my seat unreclined for a good 10 minutes.
After he was done with his meal, she says she reclined the seat again. On the tape, if you listen closely, you can hear him asking her, "What's your problem?"
I'm with
Williams says she summoned a flight attendant, hoping to de-escalate the situation.
She went back to him and she whispered something like really kind to him, like, "Oh, what's wrong, sir?" And she said, "It is really tight back here. You know, I'm so sorry." And I just thought, are we in an alternate universe where...
She was even issued this passenger disturbance notice that reads, "You should immediately cease if you wish to avoid prosecution and your removal from this aircraft." Williams says she has a fused vertebrae that gives her a lot of pain, so she needed to recline her seat.
Originally I was on her side, however I'm now on his side. If you've ever been in a plane and someone in front of you reclines their seat, I wish them nothing but the worst in life. I'm very lucky where it's never happened to me, however I've seen it happen to other people. If she reclined the tiniest bit, I'm sure it's not that bad, however it looked like she fully reclined it. And if someone in front of you is reclining their seat, you literally have no space in an already very cramped seat. I don't recline my seat ever, respect to the person behind me. You want to recline, go in business class. Exactly, and I do understand that woman maybe had issues with her back. However, I'm also on the other guy's side, like if you literally recline your seat in front of someone, you're awful. I'm an a-hole for calling my sister's kid a spoiled, entitled brat. I'm a 30-year-old female and I have an older sister who's 37, Annie. She has 3 kids, Jacqueline who's 12, Jasmine who's 10, and Vincent 9. Out of her 3 kids, she makes it incredibly obvious that Vincent is her favourite. She never ever punishes him and always lets him get his way, and I'm assuming that is why he's so entitled. I mean, he is the youngest, so usually with families, the middle child is most hated, the oldest used to be the most loved, and now the youngest is the most loved. I think that's kind of how it works in most families. She recently got divorced with her now ex-husband and has been staying with me so I could help support her. I watch her kids for free while she's working and it hasn't been the easiest. I'm a stay-at-home mum with 2 kids, 8 and 6, so when she's at work I'll be watching over 5 kids. Jacqueline has honestly been a big help though. She's well-mannered and always helps around the house. Something tells me that Jacqueline's also the type of child that has to grow up very, very quickly. She's not really allowed a childhood. It kind of does make me a bit sad whenever I see young children acting like adults. Not in a weird way, just doing stuff that kids don't usually do. It's like, be a kid, you know, that time is limited. On Wednesday, I was watching her kids while she was working. It was around lunch and I was going to make everyone peanut butter and jelly sandwiches when Jasmine came to me complaining about Vincent trying to rip up my daughter's Uno cards after a match. I followed Jasmine over to the room where Vincent was looking really angry and trying to tug some Uno cards out of my daughter's hand. I asked Vincent why he was doing this and he just burst into tears. Something tells me that Vincent's maybe lost noise for a temper tantrum. Also, something that kids always do whenever they know they're in the wrong, they cry. They let the crocodile tears out and they just cry and cry and cry. My daughter explained to me that they were just playing a match and then Vincent ended up losing. I tried to explain to him that it was okay that he lost and he could play more rounds to get better. Vincent got really mad and stormed out of the room. Yeah, so something tells me he's also got a bit of a temper. Stuff like this, you need to stamp it out quickly. Because if he lives his life like that, always assuming that he's gonna win, he's gonna have an awful life and an awful attitude. While babysitting him, I've noticed that he can't stand losing and has anger issues. He tends to take it out in Jasmine. He's extremely picky and he must get what he wants. I went to continue working on the sandwiches because I thought he should take some time to cool down. I later found out that all he wanted me to do was yell at Jasmine and my daughter. Apparently that's what Annie does. Jacqueline told me this. When I finished making lunch, I called all the kids over to eat. When Vincent came over, I expected him to be happy about lunch because I had everyone vote for something and he voted for PB&J. Turns out he was not happy. I'd forgotten to cut the crust off. He started screaming at me that I should have cut the crust off the bread because I should know he doesn't like it. I'm kind of with Vincent here. If I'm having sandwiches, I don't like the crust at all. However, yet again, the way he's acted is not the way a child should be acting. He's a brat. I tried to stay calm and told him that I would just cut it off. He said no and threw the plate with the sandwich on the wall. I was absolutely furious and it looked like that 9-year-old was equally as furious as I was. I started yelling at him, but Jacqueline pulled him away to their room before things could escalate further. The other kids ate while I cleaned up the glass and food on the floor. I'm gonna be completely honest, if he's 9 years old and he's throwing stuff at walls, that's not good. Yet again, there's a reason he's acting out, mainly because he's a brat. However, if he's reacting like that, that's not normal, that's like quite scary. What 9-year-old is throwing stuff at walls? I'm telling you right now, if I'd done that, I'd be beaten blue. When Annie got home, I told her I didn't want to babysit her kids anymore unless she started paying me. This was just one of the incidents and also the word. Annie said no. This made me pretty mad and I told her son was a spoiled, entitled brat. Annie just went to her room and shut the door and hasn't spoken to me a lot since. I'm an a-hole. Absolutely not. Put it this way, if her kids are acting like that, that's her issue. You shouldn't have to deal with the consequences of them kids. So from me and everyone else on the internet, no, you're not an a-hole. Well, anyways, guys, that's really that video there. If you want to see me looking more entitled people, let me know, definitely will. Press the bigger subscribe button and see you all tomorrow for another video.